Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, awesome. I'm excited for
Excited.
you.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so what
Oh,
do you
okay,
want to
what
work?
do I want? Hmm, maybe, I don't know, overstimulation, rage, hyperreactivities, along those lines.
Can you pick one?
Um,
One.
hmm,
If
I
you
don't
were
know
to
what
look
would
at
be the
all of them and tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 which one, what they all each are, and then pick your highest one, your highest number.
Hmm, can we just do like a blanket, like ADHD in general? Is that a possible thing? Like,
Unfortunately, no, because we have to go after like the symptoms.
okay.
Sometimes we can we can clump them together, but just so you know, if we were to pick one thing, if it has to do with other symptoms, then it will help other symptoms as well. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
regardless, it'll still help you, but let's just pick one. So like
Okay.
lack of
But
focus,
like
we can
reactivity.
reactivity. When you say reactivity, like you have a tendency to overreact, or
Yes. Yes, sorry. I hear children fighting it right now, so just bear with me. One.
that's okay. So like overreactivity, like being overreactive. We have kids too.
Sorry.
Mhm. That's
Children.
okay. That's okay. So when you say overreacting, you mean just like you have a tendency to overreact. Like if a kid spilled the milk and you're just like like you have a tendency to just blow up.
Yes, like not in like small things, it's just in general, like overstimulation, I guess that leads to that. Like, I guess that's because I know that it often comes from the ADHD. Um, the how they can make me reactive.
Yeah.
But I am
So,
reactive, I can in that way, because I guess kids just trigger it more because they're
yeah.
unpredictable.
Oh, of course, everybody is.
Yeah.
Um, let's go ahead and have a quick moment of silence. I feel like this is really close, but not quite it. However, we'll probably just go with this. So, one second.
My story, I missed that. My son came in.
You're okay. Okay. So, overreacting, and I don't really like that word.
Right.
However,
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's not so much. It's just reactivity, I guess, in general. Like,
yes,
because I don't know. I don't know how to. Okay, let's just go with rage then, because then it brings out
rage.
rage. So maybe just rage.
Okay, let's do rage then. That feels better. So,
Yeah.
um, yep. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the rage? Like, if somebody were to come in and just like go through your room or whatever, um, how would you rate that rage in this moment?
Mm, at this point, it would be pretty high. Like, yeah, I'd say probably about an eight.
An 8. Okay. And you feel kind of like that rage kind of coming to the surface at about an
Oh yeah,
8.
yeah. Because as soon as I'm doing something here, now they're needing me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have to, feel free to mute yourself while I'm doing the session. That way you can chat with them if you need to. It's not a big deal. We'll still get the same answers here. So we already had a moment of silence. Let's just ask what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage? Terror. When did this occur? Page 10, 20, age 20. Do we need to know more? Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this rage? Maybe even add one. Insecurity. When did this 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, age 16? We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. What color of nail polish? It's like a pink silver color. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage? Maybe even add one. Heartache. When did this 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, age 16? Excuse me. Age 16, we'll go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage? Maybe 4. Guilt. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Unworthy. When did this 10, 20, age 20? These are some pretty heavy emotions, so I think you can hear me. Go ahead and continue to take some really big deep breaths, like full inhale, inhale positivity, and then once that's all the way full, then you're going to go ahead and exhale negativity, full exhale. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage? Maybe even add one. Insecurity. When did this occur? 10, 20, age 20. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage? Maybe 2, 4, 6. Unworthy. When did this pretend? Age 10. Let's go ahead and release that. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage? Maybe 2, 4. Guilt. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage and anger? So definitely feel anger. Let's go ahead and release that. We correct that. That actually was about the age of 7, 6, 7. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage and anger? Maybe even add one. Frustration. When did this occur? Age 10, 20, 39, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Age 23. We need to know more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage? Maybe 4. Depression. When did this occur? 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4. Age 24. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this rage? Maybe even add one. Insecurity. When did this 10, 20, age 20? Can you still hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear all these. Let's go ahead and release that.
I can. I've caught most of them.
Oh, you caught most of them? Okay. Okay, good. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this rage? Okay, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, Move your neck around. Give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it, get it, get it. And then go ahead and take a really big deep breath. Full inhale, full exhale. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the rage that you feel or the anger?
I would say probably less to about 6-5 level from 8.
That's great. No, that's great. So like a 5.5-ish?
Yeah, you're around by 5.5.
Hey, let me ask one more question because I feel like there's a few more. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with rage? Maybe 2, 4, 6. Shame. So I feel like this shame is like a self-defense mechanism. So it's almost like this rage has protected you for so long that it's like the only thing you know how to do is just it's like a dog barking like that's chained to a tree, and all it knows how to do is just bark, 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 because it thinks that it's protecting the tree, but in reality that chain that is connected to the dog is actually harming the tree more and more and more the more angry the dog becomes. Does that make sense? So yeah, let's go ahead and release that. And don't worry, I don't mind kids. I have 3 of my own, and they're always bugging me. So what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this resistance to healing with this rage? Maybe even outer one. Heartache. When did this first 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? And last one is unsupported. When did this first 10, 20, 29, 18, 17, 16, 15, age 15? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest? All right. Go ahead and take one more really, really big deep breath. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most. Hi.
It's toothbrushing, right? This is Finley.
Okay. Hi. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate that age? Rate? All they needs a... Yes, it's a metaphor, though, or an analogy.
This is a pretty good depiction of, what this... where a lot of this overwhelm is coming from. I would say about now I'm probably at about a 4, I'd say. It's pretty... I'm in the middle of it. I'm not as triggered as I would be. So that's definitely a good sign, as you can hear.
That's a really good sign. That's a really good sign. Awesome. So, are you okay if I put this on my YouTube channel and I'll let you go?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. I'll have to listen to it.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. But if I have any, is it okay if I message you?
Absolutely, of course.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Sure. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really, I do.
Yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay! Oh my gosh, that was awesome. We literally, I think she can still hear me, but we literally cut her the feeling of rage and anger and overreaction from an 8 to a 4. Yay!